In legal billing, the term PowerPoint refers to a pricing method where a lawyer charges a flat fee for a specified set of tasks or deliverables. Each task or deliverable is assigned a point value, and the total fee is calculated by multiplying the total number of points by a predetermined point rate. This PowerPoint pricing method differs from other common pricing structures used in the legal field. Firstly, there's hourly billing, where the client is charged for every hour of work performed by the lawyer, irrespective of the outcome or results achieved. Secondly, there's the fixed fee arrangement, in which a lump sum is charged for a defined scope of work. This approach provides more predictability than hourly billing. Thirdly, there are value-based fees. This approach involves charging fees based on the perceived value or the outcome achieved for the client. The advantages of PowerPoint pricing include predictability, transparency, and the potential for efficiency. Predictability stems from the clear and predetermined total fee, reducing uncertainty for both the lawyer and the client. Transparency arises because points are assigned to specific tasks, providing clarity on what is included in the fee. The potential for efficiency exists because lawyers may be motivated to work more efficiently to keep point costs down and maximize their profit margin within the established point structure. However, there are also cautions to consider when working under PowerPoint pricing. One concern is scope creep, which is when the scope of work expands beyond the original agreement, leading to unexpected point accumulations and higher costs. It is critical to ensure that the scope of work is clearly defined upfront to avoid this. Another potential issue is the risk of overcharging, where lawyers may be tempted to inflate point values or assign points to unnecessary tasks, effectively increasing the overall fee without a corresponding increase in value. A third concern is the lack of flexibility. PowerPoint pricing may not be suitable for projects that involve significant uncertainty or changes in scope, as the fixed point values may not accurately reflect the actual work required. Furthermore, there is the potential for disputes. Disagreements over point values or the scope of work can arise, potentially leading to conflict between the lawyer and the client. To mitigate these potential pitfalls when working under PowerPoint pricing, several recommendations can be followed. Firstly, the scope of work and point value should be defined in detail in the engagement letter, leaving no room for ambiguity or misunderstanding. Secondly, it is advisable to use a reputable and experienced lawyer who is transparent about their point system, providing clear explanations of how points are assigned and calculated. Thirdly, consider a hybrid pricing model that combines PowerPoint pricing with other methods, such as hourly billing or fixed fees, to mitigate the risks associated with each individual approach. For example, a PowerPoint system could be used for routine tasks, while hourly billing could be applied to unforeseen or complex issues. Understanding these nuances of PowerPoint pricing, its comparison to other methods, and the potential risks and recommendations is essential for anyone engaging legal services. A well-defined agreement and open communication with the lawyer are key to ensuring a fair and beneficial arrangement. In the context of pricing legal services, understanding different pricing models is crucial for clients to make informed decisions and manage their legal costs effectively. Besides the PowerPoint pricing, hourly billing, fixed fees, and value-based fees, other alternative pricing structures exist, each with its own advantages and disadvantages. Understanding these alternatives can empower clients to negotiate the most suitable arrangement with their legal counsel. One alternative is contingency fees. This pricing model is commonly used in personal injury cases and involves the lawyer receiving a percentage of the settlement or court award if they win the case. If the lawyer does not win, they typically do not receive a fee. This aligns the lawyer's interests with the client's and can make legal representation accessible to those who cannot afford upfront fees. However, the percentage charged can be substantial, especially in larger settlements. Another alternative is task-based billing. This method involves breaking down the legal work into specific tasks, with a fixed fee assigned to each task. It provides more transparency and control over costs compared to hourly billing, but requires careful definition of each task and its associated fee. Then there are subscription-based legal services. This is a relatively new model where clients pay a recurring fee, such as monthly or annually, for a range of legal services. This can be cost-effective for businesses that require ongoing legal support, but it's important to understand the scope of services included in the subscription. Another approach is cap fees. This sets a maximum fee for a specific piece of legal work. This provides some cost certainty while allowing for flexibility if the work takes longer than anticipated. However, it is important to agree on a realistic cap that covers the likely scope of work. Furthermore, some firms use a blended hourly rate. This involves charging a single hourly rate for all lawyers working on a case, regardless of their experience level. This can simplify billing and make it more predictable, but it may not reflect the actual value of the work performed by different lawyers. Clients should carefully evaluate their specific needs and circumstances when choosing a pricing model. Factors to consider include the complexity of the legal matter, the client's budget, the level of risk involved, and the client's preference for cost certainty. Open communication with the lawyer about pricing expectations and concerns is essential. Clients should ask for detailed explanations of the chosen pricing model and how it will be applied to their case. They should also inquire about potential cost overruns and how they will be handled. It is important to review the engagement letter carefully before signing it, ensuring that the pricing terms are clearly and accurately stated. Understanding these various pricing models empowers clients to make informed decisions about their legal representation and manage their legal costs effectively. The key is to find a pricing structure that aligns with their needs, budget, and risk tolerance, while also ensuring transparency and fairness. When engaging legal services, it is crucial to understand the different types of fee arrangements that can be established with a lawyer. These arrangements can significantly impact the overall cost of legal representation and the client's ability to budget effectively. A thorough understanding of fee arrangements empowers clients to make informed decisions, negotiate favorable terms, and avoid potential disputes with their lawyers. Firstly, consider hourly fee arrangements. Under this arrangement, the client is billed based on the number of hours the lawyer spends working on the case. The lawyer will typically maintain detailed records of their time, including the date, time spent, and description of the work performed. Hourly rates vary depending on the lawyer's experience, expertise, and location. While this arrangement is common, it can be difficult for clients to predict the total costs of their legal representation, as the final bill will depend on the amount of time the lawyer spends on the case. Secondly, consider fixed fee arrangements. A fixed fee arrangement involves the lawyer charging a lump sum for a specific legal service, such as drafting a will or handling a simple real estate transaction. This arrangement provides the client with cost certainty and allows them to budget effectively. However, fixed fee arrangements are typically only suitable for routine legal services where the scope of work is well defined. Thirdly, contingency fee arrangements. Contingency fee arrangements are common in personal injury cases where the lawyer receives a percentage of the settlement or court award if they win the case. If the lawyer does not win, they typically do not receive a fee. This arrangement aligns the lawyer's interests with the client's and can make legal representation accessible to those who cannot afford upfront fees. However, the percentage charged can be substantial, especially in larger settlements. Another type of arrangement is retainer fee arrangements. A retainer fee arrangement involves the client paying a lawyer a sum of money upfront to secure their services. The retainer fee is typically non-refundable and is used to cover the lawyer's initial costs and ensure their availability to handle the client's legal matters. The lawyer will then bill the client for their services at an hourly rate, deducting the amount from the retainer fee. Consider value-based fee arrangements as well. Value-based fee arrangements involve the lawyer charging a fee based on the value of the legal services provided to the client. This arrangement is often used in complex business transactions where the value of the lawyer's work is directly related to the outcome achieved for the client. Value-based fees can be difficult to calculate, but they can be beneficial for both the lawyer and the client if they accurately reflect the value of the legal services provided. Then there's task-based fee arrangements. Task-based fee arrangements involve the lawyer breaking down the legal work into specific tasks, with a fixed fee assigned to each task. This arrangement provides more transparency and control over costs compared to hourly billing, but requires careful definition of each task and its associated fee. Another option is subscription fee arrangements. Subscription fee arrangements involve the client paying a recurring fee, such as monthly or annually, for a range of legal services. This can be cost-effective for businesses that require ongoing legal support, but it's important to understand the scope of services included in a subscription. Capped fee arrangements also exist. Capped fee arrangements set a maximum fee for a specific piece of legal work. This provides some cost certainty while allowing for flexibility if the work takes longer than anticipated. However, it is important to agree on a realistic cap that covers the likely scope of work. Another arrangement to note is blended hourly rate arrangements. Blended hourly rate arrangements involve charging a single hourly rate for all lawyers working on a case, regardless of their experience level. This can simplify billing and make it more predictable, but it may not reflect the actual value of the work performed by different lawyers. In addition to these fee arrangements, it is important to understand the types of expenses that can be billed to the client. These expenses, known as disbursements, can include court filing fees, expert witness fees, travel expenses, and photocopying costs. Lawyers are typically required to provide clients with an itemized list of disbursements and to obtain their consent before incurring significant expenses. Clients should carefully review their engagement letter with their lawyer to ensure that they understand the fee arrangement, the types of expenses that can be billed, and the payment terms. They should also ask their lawyer to provide them with regular updates on the progress of their case and the amount of fees and expenses incurred. By understanding the different types of fee arrangements and the types of expenses that can be billed, clients can make informed decisions about their legal representation and manage their legal costs effectively. It is important to communicate openly with the lawyer about pricing expectations and concerns and to review the engagement letter carefully before signing it. This will help to avoid potential disputes and ensure that the client receives fair and transparent legal representation. Remember that legal fee arrangements can vary widely depending on the type of legal matter, the lawyer's experience, and the jurisdiction in which the legal services are provided. It is always advisable to seek legal advice from a qualified lawyer to discuss your specific legal needs and to determine the most appropriate fee arrangement for your situation. There are several key considerations when evaluating different pricing models for legal services, ensuring that you choose the one that best suits your needs and circumstances. These considerations encompass factors related to cost predictability, transparency, risk allocation, and the complexity of the legal matter. Cost predictability is a primary concern for many clients. Models like fixed fees and capped fees offer the highest degree of predictability, allowing you to budget effectively and avoid unexpected expenses. Hourly billing, on the other hand, can be less predictable as the final cost depends on the time spent on the case. Transparency is equally important. A transparent pricing model provides a clear breakdown of how fees are calculated and what services are included. Task-based billing and value-based fees can offer greater transparency compared to hourly billing, where it can be difficult to track the specific tasks performed and their associated costs. Risk allocation is another crucial factor. Contingency fees shift the risk to the lawyer, as they only get paid if they win the case. This can be advantageous for clients who cannot afford upfront fees but comes at the cost of a potentially higher percentage of the settlement. Fixed fees and capped fees allocate the risk differently, as the lawyer bears the risk of underestimating the time required for the case. The complexity of the legal matter also plays a significant role. Simple and routine legal tasks are often well suited for fixed fees, while more complex and in certain cases may be better addressed with hourly billing or value-based fees. It's important to assess the scope of work and the potential for unforeseen challenges when choosing a pricing model. In addition to these key considerations, you should also evaluate the lawyer's experience and reputation, their communication style, and their willingness to discuss and negotiate pricing options. A lawyer who is transparent, communicative, and flexible is more likely to provide you with a satisfactory experience. It's also beneficial to compare pricing models across different law firms and lawyers, as rates and approaches can vary significantly. Obtain quotes from multiple sources and carefully review the engagement letters to understand the terms and conditions. Ultimately, the best pricing model is the one that aligns with your needs, budget, and risk tolerance, while also ensuring transparency and fairness. Take the time to carefully evaluate your options and choose a lawyer who is willing to work with you to find a pricing structure that works for both parties. Open communication and a clear understanding of the pricing terms are essential for successful and cost-effective legal representation. Furthermore, remember that pricing is not the only factor to consider when choosing a lawyer. The lawyer's expertise, experience, and reputation are equally important. Choose a lawyer who has a proven track record in handling similar cases and who you feel comfortable working with. In conclusion, when evaluating pricing models for legal services, consider cost predictability, transparency, risk allocation, and the complexity of the legal matter. Evaluate the lawyer's experience, communication style, and willingness to negotiate. Compare pricing models across different firms and choose a lawyer who aligns with your needs and budget. Open communication and a clear understanding of the pricing terms are essential for a successful legal representation.